Very much indeed for staying with us. 7 governors have converged today in Kakamega town for a Lake Region meeting. The region is one of the most densely populated regions of Kenya, with over 14 million people, which constitute about 30% of the population in Kenya. The Lake Region Economic Bloc presents the socio-economic aspirations of 14 counties in the Lake Basin region and seeks to boldly secure and shape the region's destiny. The economic blueprint is designed to guide development efforts by leveraging existing assets, addressing constraints, and defining key steps that leaders and citizens of the region can take to transform the shared vision of prosperity into reality. Willie Lusige is keeping an eye on this meeting today. Good morning once again, Lusige. I have seen that the British High Commissioner to Kenya, that is Jane Marriott, has already landed in Kisumu. A clear indication the meeting will be kicking off will be underway in a few minutes, or rather in a short while. But perhaps what are some of the expectations from leaders and the residents, if you have spoken to any, on this meeting today?
George and our viewers, definitely we are still waiting for the arrival of the UK High Commissioner. As you have already stated, she has landed in Kisumu, and we're expecting any moment from now maybe they'll be here, because it's not a longer distance. But apart from that, also we have seen a number of governors already seated. We have Vihiga Governor, that is Wilbur Tichilo. We have Siaya Governor Cornel Rasanga. We have Kisii Governor is also here in attendance, and apart from that, also the host, that is Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya. So we expect around 14 governors, because the entire Lake Region Economic Bloc cuts across 14 counties which are found within Western. Those are a total of 4. We have others from the North Rift like Trans Nzoia. We have others from Nyanza, the entire Nyanza, all the way to Kisii, and we have even others from the southern part of the Rift Valley, that is we have Bomet and other counties. So today we expect a total of 14 governors, and already so far I've seen around 4 to 5, but the day is still young, so we hope by the course of the day most probably all of them will be attending this event that will mark a key milestone in terms of development, because the Lake Region Economic Bloc was brought on board to shape up the future and the destiny of Western region in terms of development, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of business, and also apart from that, also trying to improve the living standards of the people of the entire 14 counties, because these are very close counties. The in-trade between them is so huge. The amount of money that cuts across the borders between these 14 counties is so huge, because they depend on each other in terms of supply of food, in terms of supply of fish, in terms of supply of minerals, in terms of even supply of labor. So that's why they felt they had to come together and form an economic bloc that will be able to have a certain kind of agenda cutting across all the main important factors in improving the living standards, from the infrastructure all the way to business. So today they will be signing 2 memorandum of agreement. The first one will be a peace act in regard to the 2022 presidential election. The UK High Commissioner wants to talk to these governors and make sure that they append their signatures on that agreement, so that they'll be able to make sure that the entire region, the 14 counties, will have a peaceful election when 2022 comes, because we have seen previously before we have had such kind of post-election violence here in Western, in Rift Valley, and even in Nyanza. So that's what they're trying to come together, put their heads together, think and agree the best way to have those elections being free and fair, and also apart from that being peaceful. And apart from that, also they will sign another agreement that will be able to give UK a leeway on how to send funds here to be able to develop the Lake Region Economic Bloc, and also list a number of projects that they want the UK to be able to fund. Such kind of projects we are most probably expecting. They will talk about the bigger gold mining industry that is very prominent here in Kakamega, in Vihiga, all the way to Siaya, which cuts across the southern corridor gold that is found in this region. Apart from that, also there are other projects like the granite mining in Vihiga, and apart from that, also there's a lot to do with the economy, especially that we have seen the dwindling of the sugar sector that has led to a sharp rise in terms of poverty here. And also in regard to that, they have also listed a number of roads that they want to have specifically cutting across those 14 counties, all the way from Kisii Kisii to Nyanza to Western to Rift Valley, that they say those are key roads that they want to be funded because they feel that the easiest way of improving transport and that link of network in terms of communication. So there are so many things that Western region, Nyanza and Rift Valley will benefit from today's meeting, and we'll be waiting to see maybe some of the key projects, but most probably the issues to do with the mining and improving the sugar sector, and apart from that also uplifting the economy of Western will play a major key role, apart from the initial Peace Act that they will be signing, so that they can guarantee that come 2022 also Western and Nyanza and Rift Valley will have a peaceful election.
Lusige, just briefly, as we wait for the arrival of the British High Commissioner, these MOUs, the Memorandum of Understanding, and, they will be adding up to the memoranda that have been signed before, because these are the pillars of the Lake Region Economic Bloc are premised on 10 strategic intervention areas, productive sectors, social sectors, and enablers. As we look forward, or rather as we look at how this region is positioning itself for the future, perhaps as it stands right now, very briefly, Lusige, what have they been able to achieve so far?
George, first of all, when the Lake Region Economic Bloc was formed, they had a plan to start their own bank, and every county was supposed to contribute 200 million per annum so as to be able to generate enough amount of money that can be loaned to some of the counties to be able to maybe finance their project and then later pay back rather than depend on the national government or even other foreign aids. So apart from what they are going to benefit from today's Memorandum of Agreement, they have had such kind of events before where they sat together, they agreed to contribute money, and then that money was being loaned to other counties to be able to champion for those developments that you have already noted. So we can say this is just a step ahead, but so far we have seen them trying to find an alternative. For example, like Western region here supplies a lot of food to other regions in this economic bloc, so they have found a better way on how to make sure that those farmers in this region can be able to access markets maybe from Kisii, or even those ones from Kisii can be able to access markets in Kakamega. So what they're trying to do is to link the counties so as to be able to operate as their own region, to depend on each other. If Kisii needs fish, then they find a better way on how to link the suppliers of fish from Kisumu all the way to Kisii. So far they have signed a number of memorandums of agreement, and major key issues have been on how to link the suppliers and buyers within the region. And apart from that also they have begun construction of some key roads, the way we have seen the completion of the road that links Western all the way to Kisumu and also all the way to Trans Nzoia, which is in Rift Valley. So it's a long journey that so far has already begun, and maybe the presence of the UK High Commissioner today is only to boost what they have already done, maybe to increase the funds they have, because every year every county contributes 200 million that goes to their kitty, that they will say most probably if they get to a certain amount of money, then they'll be planning to open their own bank so that they can rely on their own self rather than seek further funding from other institutions or even the national government.
Thank you very much indeed, Willie Lusige, joining us from Kakamega with a report on the Lake Region Economic Bloc meeting, and we shall be waiting to see the outcomes of today's meetings, especially with the visit by the British High Commissioner to Kenya, that is Jane Marriott, who has already landed in Kisumu and will be headed to Kakamega shortly. The death toll from the Enziu River bus tragedy has now risen to 32.